What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Xanax and fentanyl and why it's not what you think. Now let's start off with this. Is Xanax laced with fentanyl a lot? Yeah, it is. Is it a bad thing? Not really. You know what I mean? Like, fentanyl isn't gonna kill you. Ever. At any dose. It's like, what are you talking about? Isn't it like a grain of salt on your finger could kill you? Fucking no. That's bullshit. Like, if you haven't seen my story taking a Hulk bar laced with fentanyl, I took a bunch of them. It doesn't do shit. You're just gonna get knocked out, not remember a lot of what went on, and that's gonna be the end of that. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna feel comfortable as fuck 'cause it's a major painkiller. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel comfortable as fuck the day after taking Xanax that isn't laced too. But if it has fentanyl in it, oh, you just scored big, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying go out and look for Xanax that's laced with fentanyl. It's not at all what I'm saying. Because, like, you want to have a good time. You want to remember, right? What's the point if you don't remember? I'm just saying, if you do score a Xanax bar that's laced with fentanyl, it's not a big deal. Because at the end of the day, you're filling up on a painkiller. A major painkiller that isn't going to do anything negative, long-term, short-term, or kill you whatsoever. Like, at all. Like, you just scored on a fentanyl bar type shit. But, like, I'm still not recommending going and looking for those. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to get into why Xanax is laced with fentanyl and why Herbal would allow this. Basically, for the reason I just said. Like, okay, the reason why he allows this, why Herbal allows this, the big fucking man of the Xanax industry and the pill industry and the drug industry, is what I just said. Like, you're basically just filling up on a painkiller. And it's not bad for you, it's good. But again, I don't recommend looking for them. Because you want to remember and have a good time, as I said. But let's get into the second point of why it's laced with fentanyl. And why the bears decide to lace this with fentanyl, all the drug dealers. Now, if you're thinking of Xanax as being laced with fentanyl, you're going to be afraid to take them, first of all, because you don't know that fentanyl is safe. At the end of the day, even though it's going to knock you out and you won't remember a lot, it's safe. So you're going to be afraid to take these Xanax bars, which are actually good for you. They're a good thinking drug, a clear thinking drug, which a lot of people don't know. They reverse it. They tell you it's a foggy thinking drug. It's really not. So, one, people are going to be afraid to take it because of the fentanyl. And then two, people are going to have a misconception on the drug if they take a laced bar. Now, what do I mean by this? If you take a fentanyl bar and it knocks you out and you just don't remember type shit, you're gonna have that perception of Xanax. You're gonna think that's what a Xanax is. Now, you're still gonna get the effects of the Xanax. Like, let's say you do take a fentanyl bar and you remember, it's gonna be like a Xanax, like a really strong Xanax. That's what it's gonna feel like. But most likely, it's gonna knock you out and you just won't remember a lot. Now, if you take a fentanyl bar, you're going to think that's what a Xanax is. You know what I'm saying? Because people say that Xanax make you not remember. It's not true. If you want to check out my video, Popping a Benzo, where I popped 1 prescription Xanax, and then I took 7, and I explained the full effects and remembered everything, and was completely, like, sober-minded and, like, clear thinking, go check those videos out. A prescription Xanax, an unlaced Xanax, is not going to knock you out to the point where you won't remember. Now, you might not be completely sober if you're not used to them, but for the most part, you're going to be sober-minded and clear thinking. Let's get into more like my experience with fentanyl bars and then unlaced bars. Now, I've taken, if you've seen my story, taking a Hulk bar laced with fentanyl. I explained what happened there. I basically just passed out for the night and then didn't remember like a few hours of it and like zoned back in like throughout the night. But I've also taken 20 laced Xanax bars laced with fentanyl. And what happened there? You might, oh, that's gonna kill you. No, it's not. I woke up 2 days later in a hospital. So basically it just knocked me out for longer. And I didn't remember anything from when I took the Xanax to when I got to the hospital. Or it's to when I woke up in the hospital. So it's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna knock you out for longer. Now, I took 20. That's crazy. Still not gonna kill you or do anything bad long term or short term. Okay? So, you might be like, why did you take 20 laced fentanyl bars? I didn't know they're laced with fentanyl, first of all. I just thought they're normal Xanax. But, yeah. No, I wasn't in the hospital for any medical issues. Like, I had no medical issues whatsoever. It was literally just the fact that I was acting crazy and acting unsober and stumbling and saying weird shit to the cops when they got to my house. So they took me to like a psych ward. I'm at the hospital. I slept there for 2 days, woke up and went straight home. No mental issues, no physical issues, nothing like that. No withdrawals, like nothing like that happens no matter how much you take of this shit, laced or unlaced. Yeah, so basically the rundown. Xanax are good drugs to take if you want. I don't take them all the time, but I've taken a lot of them. Like, I've taken 25 normal Xanax at once and been completely sober. Completely sober, clear minded. And I've taken multiple school buses, hog bars, shit like that. Like, and unless it's laced with fentanyl, or laced with like a little bit of fentanyl, you might like sort of not remember shit, or just like not remember a lot of it. But if it's normal prescription Xanax or just unlaced Xanax, most likely you're gonna remember it and be clear minded, depending on where your tolerance is at and how much you take them. Like, your tolerance doesn't depend on how often you take them within a short period of time. It's just how often you have taken them. So you could take like a bunch a year ago and decide to take some a year later. And if you've been doing drugs, especially, your tolerance is still going to be there. You know what I'm saying? But that's besides the point. The rundown: if you take a fentanyl lace bar, that's going to be your perception of Xanax. And you're going to have a false perception of it and not know that it's completely fine. You're going to be scared of the Xanax, you know what I'm saying? When it's completely fine. And that's basically it. You're gonna not want to be taking these Xanax because of these stupid people that lace it with fentanyl, even though it's not that bad. And when you get a fentanyl lace bar, you might not know that it's not that bad, or you just might not want to take them again because you don't enjoy not remembering shit and just the scary aspect of it, even though you're gonna be completely fine at the end of the day. So that's basically fentanyl and Xanax. Hope you enjoyed. Go pop some bars, but I recommend like Molly or Coke, as you know. But go pop some bars.